Today is March 8, 2023. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, a few things today. First, a few weeks ago, I spoke about a woman in Great Britain, Birmingham, England, actually, who had been arrested back in January for praying in front of an abortion clinic, supposedly in violation for some kind of a buffer zone. She was in violation of the Public Space Protection Order. And the order says, quote, "It prohibits people from protesting, namely engaging in any act of approval or disapproval, or attempted act of approval or disapproval, with respect to issues related to abortion services by any means," unquote. Well, after her arrest, Isabel Vaughan Spruce, she is a pro-life activist, and actually she is the head of England's version of the March for Life. So she is known within pro-life circles in Great Britain. She went before a judge in the Birmingham Magistrates Court. And 3 weeks ago, the judge ruled in her favor. The court dropped all charges against her. Well, on Monday, 2 days ago, she was arrested again for committing the same crime, for praying. And I didn't tell you now, but I did a few weeks ago, that her original arrest was because she was praying silently. The thoughts in her head was a criminal act. So, and this is now caught on a video that I saw this morning. The police tell her to stop and to step away and step outside of this exclusion zone. And she says that she is not protesting. "I'm not engaging in any of the activities prohibited." The one cop says, "You said you're engaging in prayer, which is an offense." When she says that it's silent prayer, the officer says, "You're still engaging in prayer. It is an offense." So she has been arrested. And this is what she said of her second arrest. Quote, "Only 3 weeks ago, it was made clear by the court that my silent prayers were not a crime. I am being arrested and treated as a criminal for having the exact same thoughts in my head in the same location. The ambiguity of laws that limit free expression and thought, even peaceful, consensual conversation, or in silent internal prayer, leads to abject confusion to the detriment of important fundamental rights. Nobody should be criminalized for their thoughts," unquote. That was all a statement by Isabel Vaughan Spruce. The next day, yesterday, in Parliament in London, an amendment was introduced that would have exempted silent prayer and consensual conversations from the ban. Incredibly, Parliament voted down this amendment, and the vote was 116 to 299. It's almost 3-1 rejected by Parliament. Well, so much for free speech in England, or even free thought. Okay, in other news, I just saw too the Florida State House, the state Senate in this state House, has introduced legislation to make a heartbeat bill, banning abortions after a fetal heartbeat could be detected. Basically, it's 6 weeks. Governor Ron DeSantis has already said that if this thing passes, he will sign it into law. Another item, Jeannie Mancini, she's the director of the U.S. National March for Life. She has an opinion piece in the prolifenews.com website. She says that President Biden is considering issuing an executive order declaring a public health emergency over abortion in response to the Dobbs decision of last year. And this executive order may allow the government to circumvent a possible ruling by a federal judge in Texas who may rule that chemical abortions will be prohibited because this 2-pill regimen is unsafe for women. Biden, now this is my comment, not Jeannie Mancini. Biden, his fellow Democrats, worship at the altar of dead babies. They have no soul, they have no compassion, and they have no decency. They just have no decency. Okay, moving on. Last week, Attorney General Merrick Garland testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee. And they asked him, there were some real challenging questions about why Mark Houck, the guy from Philadelphia who was arrested and had 20 to 30 FBI agents storming into his house, terrorizing his wife and children. And you can see that on a video. But he was asked, why are so many pro-life activists arrested for various things, and why so little has been done to arrest or charge pro-abortion activists who vandalize pregnancy care centers or other pro-life offices. And he said, here's his answer, that pro-lifers violate the FACE Act, do so during the day, and usually on camera. But the vandalism done at pregnancy care centers or pro-life buildings are committed by people who do these things in the dark. So that's it. It's done in the dark. And the FBI cannot get to the bottom of these crimes because it was done at night. Lots of crimes are committed at night. Robberies, murders, car thefts, vandalisms of domestic abuse. Lots of things happen at night in the dark. So are we to believe that police officers, police departments in this country cannot investigate crimes because they happen at night in the dark? Are we to assume that the FBI is unable to investigate violence committed at pregnancy care centers because it so happens that they're all done in the dark at night? I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. What kind of a boss would treat his or her employees with such contempt, basically saying, you guys are incompetent or impotent to investigate thoroughly a crime committed at night? Is that what Attorney General Garland is really saying? That the FBI is unable or incompetent to investigate these crimes? There's not one single police department in this country that refuses to investigate crimes because they happened in the dark. There are no FBI agents that refuse to investigate crimes because they happened in the dark at night. So I'm just gonna let you go, but we're still waiting. We are still waiting on the FBI or the Justice Department charging people for harassing and demonstrating in front of the homes of Supreme Court justices after the Supreme Court, the Dobbs leak back in May, or after the Dobbs decision, because those types of harassments and intimidation of federal judges is a federal crime, and no one's been arrested for that. And we're still waiting. I'm still waiting for charges for people who have been vandalizing pregnancy care centers. We're still waiting, Attorney General Garland. We're still waiting. Let's do that investigation, whether it's in the dark or not. With that, I'll let you go. I will see you next time.